Hey everybody, I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. I'm talking about 1995's Cutthroat Island. This was directed by Renny Harlin, who directed classics like A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 for his first theatrical feature. Followed that up with Die Hard 2, a movie that I enjoy quite a bit. Then he also made Cliffhanger, one of my all-time favorite Stallone movies from the 90s. And then he made Deep Blue Sea and some other stuff that is kind of forgettable. But Cutthroat Island. This movie is infamous for bankrupting Caracol Pictures, a production company that financed movies like Rambo 3, Total Recall, Terminator 2, and ultimately ended up making only $10 million domestically in the US on a budget of $92 to $98 million. Huge bomb. Talk about a failure. So, how's the movie? The movie stars Geena Davis as the character of Morgan Adams, the tough daughter of a head pirate played by character actor Harris Yulin, who in 1983's Scarface as Mel Bernstein tried to blackmail old Tony Montana. Didn't work out too well there for Bernstein in that movie. This movie doesn't work out too well for Harris Yulin's character either. He plays Black Harry. Not very long after the start of the movie, Black Harry dies in the arms of his daughter Morgan, but while he's dying, he reveals to her that there is a treasure map to Spanish gold tattooed onto his scalp, and so she is instructed to shave his head. She scalps him, and then she decides to assume command of his ship and all the pirates. But his brother, her uncle Douglas, played by the great Frank Langella, he decides that he wants to be captain, and so the rivalry basically begins between the two of them. Of course, the treasure map is written in Latin, as they usually are in these kinds of movies, and so Morgan, Geena Davis's character, needs somebody to help her with that. And that's where the character of Shaw comes in, William Shaw, played by Matthew Modine. As far as the main characters go, I gotta say, I like Geena Davis quite a bit. I've always liked Geena Davis in movies, whether it's Earth Girls Are Easy, or Beetlejuice, or The Fly. She's one of those actresses that I can watch in anything. She's always been very entertaining and enjoyable to watch, and here she's no different. However, as far as Geena Davis's co-star Matthew Modine in the role of William Shaw, I gotta say, this cat was miscast in this part. He is okay to serviceable in the role, but had it been the original actor that was supposed to do the part, it would have been a different story entirely because Matthew Modine just isn't the caliber of star or actor that Geena Davis was. Had it been the original actor that was supposed to play this part, which was Michael Douglas, it would have been an entirely different story. And, it's kind of a thankless role for Matthew Modine because he is kind of an effeminate type in this movie since Geena Davis is the hero in the film after all, and usually, it's the man as the hero, so the roles are reversed, and so he's basically like her arm candy. But had it been Michael Douglas the way it was supposed to be originally, I'm sure it would have been more than just him being arm candy to her character. A definite positive on this movie for me are the practical sets, the use of real sets and actual pirate ships, and all the intricate looking detail in the set design. And because we're dealing with actual pirate ships in the frame, they get to do huge battles, and you get a great scene where you have two ships right across from each other and their cannons bursting fire, and you got pirates swinging from one ship to the other. And because it's like an actual set, it's a very cool place to have an action sequence, and there are some very cool and exciting moments in terms of a lot of the action and the stunt work. But some of the choreography in terms of a lot of the fighting and the sword fighting feels rather generic. And in the scenes where you have Geena Davis's character having like actual mano and mano fisticuffs with bad guys, some of the choreography isn't all that convincing, and even the way some of it is shot isn't all that convincing. This movie also suffers of having a very big helping of 90s action movie cheese, and not the good kind that's fun to watch. I'm talking about the cringy kind that you get from really bad dialogue that feels like straight out of screenwriting 101. I do think that had they stuck with just the buddy duo approach, it might have been a tad more successful, but they tried to shoehorn in a love story because it is a man and a woman as the two co-leads after all, and so shoehorning in a romance where it doesn't really need it because it doesn't make any sense, it's not going to help your movie, especially when Geena Davis's character for the most part of the entire movie doesn't even seem to have any interest in his character in that way. And then all of a sudden, towards like the third act, all of a sudden she has a change of heart. I don't know, feels very bullshit to me. ultimately the whole thing falls apart, especially since there is no real chemistry between Geena Davis and Matthew Modine. So yeah, it's got some fun action. Overproduced, quite cheesy, still fun at times, but ultimately a 2.5 star movie that I do recommend if you are morbidly curious. Cutthroat Island from 1995. If you want to check it out, I'm sure you can find it on streaming. Hard copies might be out there though. I happen to have one myself. This is my copy. Not the original poster, it's kind of a cheap old cover of the DVD, but for a couple of bucks, not a bad deal. Cutthroat Island from 1995. As you can see there, Geena Davis, Matthew Modine. Yeah, little pirate flick if you want to check it out. Thank you very much for watching this classic movie review. Always appreciate it. If you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, if you're new to the channel, hit the bell, become a subscriber. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, always helps out the channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support. I always appreciate you. Please take care of each other. God bless. Till next time, and peace out.